This is a life straw. This makes contaminated water safe to drink. I know in my first video where I talked about 5 skills that every adult should have or should know, one of them was water, being able to filter water. I also mentioned one of these, right? But here we are with 5 additional skills that every adult, male or female, but you know, I talk to the men, but 5 skills that every adult should know. Let's get into it, part 2. What's going on, fam? Dre over here at Set Apart Gardens, where we're teaching beginners how to get back to the land. So if you are a beginner, this is the place you need to be. So about a week ago, I did a video on 5 skills, 5 essential skills that every adult must know before it's too late. So I'm coming with an additional list. So this is 5 more skills that, according to me and my research that I've done, is 5 additional skills that everybody needs to know. I ain't gonna get into no fluff. We're gonna get straight into it. All right, so the first additional skill that every adult should know, right? Every able-bodied adult should know how to do is cooking from scratch, cooking whole ingredients, right? I know we live in the microwave age where we could just go and we can get a meal ready already and we could just pop it in the microwave or pop it in the air fryer or the oven, and then in 20 minutes or 15 minutes it's ready for us to eat. I understand that. However, in the event that something goes wrong and you don't have a microwave or you don't have access to a stove or nothing like that, you still need to know how to cook some food. You know, if you have to be on the grill outside or have to heat your own fire up to make you some food, you need to know how to do that. You need to know how to grill. You need to know how to cook whole foods, how to cook ingredients. So I challenge everyone with this. You can start with just learning how to make bread. Bread is one of the simplest things to make from scratch. Now, I ain't talking about you got to go out and be this great baker or nothing like that. But no, just learn how to make simple flat breads if you don't want to start off with the loaves. I ain't saying you got to get into the sourdough, but just know how to make some sort of bread. Whether it be flat bread, whether it be tortillas, whether it be a loaf of bread, it doesn't even matter. Cornbread, learning how to make some sort of bread from scratch, that right there will save a lot of people's lives, where they know how to, okay, well, hey, you know, at least I got me some flour, some water, you know, some salt. I can make me some bread and I can survive off of that until I can come across something else. But learning how to cook from scratch is something that every adult should know. Most of our great-grandparents, even a lot of our grandparents, depending on the generation that you are in. I'm a millennial, so my grandparents was born in the 50s and the 40s and stuff, so they know how to cook from scratch, and even before then their parents knew how to cook from scratch. But learning how to cook from scratch is something that is so important, because in my last video I mentioned knowing how to preserve your food, knowing how to process your own meat and different things like that. That was a skill. So in addition to knowing how to process and preserve and package your own food, produce, or meat, you need to know how to cook it as well from scratch. All right, so the second skill is this: learning how to start fires. Knowing how to start fires the safe way and maintain and keep a fire. Because why is fire important? Why is fire so important? Because in the event that you don't have electricity, you ain't got no heater that you're able to turn on at the flip of a switch, you're able to start a fire to keep yourself warm. You're able to start a fire to cook your food. You're also able to start fires to purify water. So say you get, you know, some water, you get a water source and you filter it, right? You could heat that water up to still continue to remove impurities. So fire is very, very important. Knowing how to start a fire. You know, I suggest, you know, having a box of matches, a few lighters. A ferro rod is actually another thing. I got a ferro rod around here somewhere. I just couldn't find it for the video. But I will include a link to my Amazon storefront that I have all these survival essentials where you can just go on it and buy everything that you need, right? But a ferro rod is also good. What a ferro rod is basically it's like a metal kind of alloy type rod, and you strike it and it, you know, you get flames from it, and so you're able to start fires. And it's not like lighters where you run out of fuel, that's the fire gone. No, the ferro rod will last for, you know, a long time. You know, who's to say how long it'll last? It may last decades, centuries, I don't know. But ferro rods last a really, really long time. So look into ferro rods, but knowing how to start a fire, knowing how to kindle a fire, knowing how to get a little bit of sticks and twigs and a little bit of brush and kindle a fire and nurture a fire and grow a fire. You know, a fire needs oxygen. So once you get it ignited and once you get your matter, you know, whether it's sticks, twigs, straw, hay, whatever it is, once you get that ignited and you get a flame going and you start stacking more wood and twigs and stuff on it, giving it a little bit of oxygen so that way the fire can grow and it can get hot. And then once the fire is able to get hot, then you're able to add more. And then so when you add enough wood and everything like that, the fire will last, and it'll give you heat. It'll give you something that you can cook with, something that you can purify water with, and stay warm, essentially. So knowing how to start a fire, but also, like I say, safety is first. If you're gonna be starting a fire, check the conditions. If it's dry out, make sure that you have water nearby, a water hose or something nearby, just in case that fire starts to spread. You're able to put that fire out. If you're gonna be starting a huge fire, always check with your fire department first. Let them know what's going on, so that way, if you get out of hand, that you already gave them a heads up, they can come out here. I had an event where a fire was spreading on my property, and I had to call the fire department. They came out, they put it out, and they were just letting me know, you want to be able to, when you start fires, have water around to the point where if it spreads, you got a water hose you can spray it. But that's the second skill, knowing how to start a fire and maintain a fire for your warmth, for your cooking, so you can survive. All right, skill number 3. Basic life-saving measures, basic first aid. When I was a private in the Army, when I first came into the Army in boot camp, they taught us combat lifesaver skills, combat life-saving course. We had to all go through it. So they taught us, basic first aid. If they got a sucking chest wound, things like tension pneumothorax. I know that's a little bit kind of extensive, but like just different things like that. How to apply a tourniquet just in case someone is hemorrhaging. Basically what it is you take off or you get an article of clothing or some sort of thing where you can tie around. Say if somebody is shot in the arm or shot in the leg and they're bleeding out, you could take your shirt and you could rip it apart and you could tie it around just above their leg or wherever they're shot at, just above it, and you could tighten on it real tight and get something to tighten it real tight to stop that blood from flowing, and it saves their life. It saves them from bleeding out. But basic CPR, basic first aid, everyone should know that. Especially if you are an adult, you have kids, you got some sort of family. You need to know these type of things, because you need to be able to recognize when somebody is dehydrated. You need to be able to recognize if this wound is getting infected, how to treat that, how to wrap that. If somebody is bleeding and the bleeding isn't stopping, how do I stop that bleeding? Just having a basic first aid kit will take you a long way. Like I say, in the event of a survival scenario, knowing these skills is very, very important, because you don't want people just passing away on you. You want to be able to recognize things, nip them in the bud, especially when it comes to kids, when it comes to a lot of stuff. CPR is one of the main things we should all know, but also we need to know, how to use this basic first aid kit right here. Knowing how to do basic things when it comes to life-saving skills. Everyone should know that. All right, skill number 4. Basic navigation without your GPS on your phone. Learning how to read a map. Learning how to use a compass. Like I say again, I'm a veteran. I did close to 12 years in the Army. One of the first things they taught us in basic training was land navigation. Learning how to shoot a compass, read a compass, learning how to read a map, finding your way in the woods just in case you get lost. Why is this important? And also knowing how to navigate just by looking at the sun, knowing where true north is, just things like that. This is important because, again, we may not always have technology to be able to tell us where to go. So just having a basic understanding, just having a basic compass and a basic map and knowing how to read that and knowing how to just get around using that. I can remember back in the day, I know I'm 31 years old, right? So I'm a millennial. I can remember the time before cell phones. I can remember the time cell phones started to come in where, we had the basic ones. It wasn't no touch screen or nothing like that. It was the buttons. You had to jam them. And then, the iPods and the iPads and the iPhones, all that. I saw it all ushered in. But I say all that to say, I knew what it was like to travel before you had a cell phone. I can remember taking road trips with my family and they pulling out a map. Right, and saying, okay, well, we going to Virginia, we going here, we going there. Now, of course, you got the street signs, I-95, all that type of stuff. But also, they had a map as well to say, okay, so this is where we going. All right, we can stop here because they got a restaurant right here. They got a rest area. They have this, they have that. So knowing how to read a basic map to be able to navigate yourself, because you don't want to get lost in a survival scenario. You don't want to get lost and not know where to get to safety at. So just basic knowing how to have a good sense of direction and knowing how to read a compass, knowing how to read a basic map. All right, and the 5th skill is this: situational awareness. Every adult, male or female, should have the skill of being situationally aware. When you're out in public, especially in crowds and different things like that, when you're outside of your comfort zone, your home, and you're around people, You don't need to be aloof. You don't need to just be like naively just wandering through the world. You need to be situationally aware at the very basic, you know, as a minimum. So what does situationally aware look like? That looks like when you get somewhere, you observe your surroundings. You observe people. Now, I'm not saying you got to stare people down, but no, like just scan your perimeter. Okay, everything looks normal. If something is off, because a lot of times you'll get that feeling in your stomach first. But if you observe something like somebody is here, but they don't look like they belong here. Like if you at a concert or a jazz festival, right, and somebody is there, but they don't even fit the area. Now I ain't saying, you know, we profiling, but I'm just saying, you know, stay with me here. They don't look like they fit here. That's somebody to keep an eye on. I ain't saying, oh, go report this person, go do this, go do that. No, but if somebody looks like they shouldn't be there, like a grown man, you know, a grown weird looking man at a playground, you keep an eye on that person. You keep an eye on them, and you keep it in the back of your mind like, okay, I'm doing what I'm doing, but I still got my eye on this person. Just being situationally aware, because it could be nothing. It could be that person, they just, you know, they just probably are socially awkward. Who knows? They're enjoying themselves. Or that person could be up to no good. And the fact that you are situationally aware enough and are able to see these things, you could potentially save not only your life, but other people's lives. You could save kids in the process. You see what I'm saying? If you see something, say something. If you see somebody doing something they're not supposed to be doing, that can harm somebody, that can harm people, you need to report that to the law enforcement, or, you know, you need to say something, because being situationally aware can save your life. It can save others around you. It can save your kids. But this is a basic skill. Like I say, men or women, right? I'm a two-way advocate. I'm an advocate of, you know, we have the right to bear arms, so exercise our rights. My wife exercises her rights. I exercise my rights. My grandma, my sisters, I tell everybody, because women are not exempt. Women are, as a matter of fact, women are targets for a lot of wicked things. So women especially need to be situationally aware. If you are in a parking lot by yourself late at night and it's only one other car and they park right next to your car and there's ample parking spots, that's a red flag, right? If you go in the store and you come out and there's something on your door or your windshield, right, you don't pick that thing up. No, you get in your car and you drive to a safe location, you know, before you even touch this thing, right? Or making sure that you allow people who are close to you to know your whereabouts. Like, again, I'm a veteran. We had a battle buddy system in the Army, right? When I first got to my first duty station in Hawaii, they told us, hey, make sure if you're going to be going on a hike, if you're going to be going somewhere where you're going to be having fun or whatever you're going to be going by yourself, make sure you tell your battle buddy where you're going. So that way, if you don't turn up, you at least told somebody your last known whereabouts, so people know where to come look for you. Same thing with us. If you're going to be going somewhere, doing something new, you know, whatever, just share your location. Like, we got the tracking now on our phones. Share your whereabouts with your mom, your dad, somebody that's close to you, so at least they know when they ain't heard from you in hours. Hey, you know, they said they were going to be here, so I'm going to go there. I'm going to check for them, whatever. And, you know, I can put out a missing persons report if need be. But just being situationally aware, family, that's all. But these are my 5 additional skills that I feel like every adult should know, especially in these crazy times that we're in. We need to be protected. We need to know how to survive. But not only survive, we need to know how to thrive. And when it comes to a lot of these things, especially from the first list I did and then this list, I am going to include in this link. If you want to buy some of these things, the ferro rod, the matches, the water filtration system, basic first aid kit, like all the things that I mentioned, I'm going to drop them in my Amazon. Well, it's going to be in my Amazon storefront, but I'm going to drop the link to that. It's going to be a whole collection of basic necessities, basic survival necessities that everybody needs. So if you're going to be buying it, I just ask that you buy it from us, because we do, you know, get a kickback on the affiliate marketing. You know what I mean? But I'm going to leave that link down below, man. But it's important that we be safe in this time. It's important that we be educated in this time, because, again, we are all we got, family. We are all we got. So we got to make sure that we're educating each other. We got to make sure we holding each other accountable, making sure we know how to survive, grow some food, so we'll always be okay. But y'all know what I always say before I let y'all go. He who has the power to feed you also has the power to starve you. See y'all on the next one.
Bombs over Baghdad really ain't that bad. Little wiretap, yes, yes. Little dodge in the IRS.